Today on MTG Unpacked, we're getting stuck into a new Phyrexia Fat Pack. So I thought with the impending release of Phyrexia All Will Be One, this would be a perfect way to celebrate and psych ourselves up for it. So this was released in May 2011. It's the third set in the Scars of Mirrodin block. We actually took a look at Mirrodin Besieged last week, so go back and check that video out if you haven't already. That was pretty crazy. So we've got the ever popular player's guide. They don't do these anymore, alas. And in here we usually have a poster. Hopefully I can open this without destroying. Looks like the glue is not too bad. Okay, here we go. So we've got a whole bunch of creatures from the set, including Elish Norn, who you'll notice on the playmat. I think that's Vorinclex at the bottom, isn't it? Alright, so we'll set that aside. And a nice box here. We've got Khan on the side. And there we go. So let's see what we got here. So they had a bit of a weird box design back then. We've got our packs sealed up. We've got some deck boxes. So it looks like, okay, so we have Phyrexians and Mirrans. There we go. And in case you didn't know, the Mirrans lost. Okay, so getting into the packs here. So we've got a nice spin down. So I think last time we got a lucky 7. So let's see if we can repeat that. 11. Okay, maybe not. And I think we got 9 packs here. So what we're hoping to pull, the best card in the set, the Phyrexian Obliterator, followed by Elish Norn, Khan Liberated, Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. We've also got Sword of War and Peace. That's cool. And Sheoldred Whispering One. Triumph of the Hordes is a uncommon that would be good to pull as well. See if I can get this open. Thanks. They really seal it up. There we go. So we've got a land pack. We'll take a look at that and the other stuff later in the video, because we want to get cracking right away. New Phyrexia. Were you playing back in the day when this set was released? What do you think? Are you a fan of the Infect mechanic or the Phyrexians in general? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's boost this lighting. We start off here with Defensive Stance. Leeching Bite. That's pretty weird. Insatiable Soul Eater. Locks it on Convert. Trespassing Soul Eater, looks like a shark. War Report, Slash Panther. Glisser's Scorn, Parasitic Implant. And Dark Steel Relic for the uncommons. Vital Splicer, Isolation Cell, and Molten Steel Dragon. Okay, there we go. You can pay that one with Phyrexian mana. We've got a poison counter here. So I believe poison is coming back again with Phyrexia All Will Be One. We've got a Plains and a foil Mortis Dogs. Okay, so just a common. Nothing too crazy. And actually when the channel, early in the channel's history, we opened an entire booster box of this along with everything else in the block. The boxes were much cheaper then. You're looking at about, I would say about $300 for a fat pack these days, and the booster boxes go for well over 1,000, so a little bit pricey. We've got Remember the Fallen, Mycosynth Wellspring, Phyrexian Hulk, Defensive Stance, Victorious Destruction, Glistener Elf, Lost Leonin, Thundering Tanadon, Geth's Verdict, Pristine Talisman, that one's been reprinted a bunch of times, Shrine of Limitless Power, Despise, Sickle Slicer, and Caged Sun for the rare. I've seen that one as well. We've got a Mere Token and a Mountain. And I think, aren't those mountains worth a few bucks as well? Let's been a while since I've opened any of this set. Okay, next packet. We've got a Blinding Soul Eater. That's supposedly a cleric. Mole Splicer. Ruthless Invasion. Suture Priest. And this is the one I swear it looks like this dude's got a cat grafted to their shoulder. Not sure what that's about. And a Vault Scourge. Gataxian Probe. Band. Deathhood Cobra. Spined Thopter. Grim Affliction. Vault Charge. And Mycosynth Fiend for the uncommons. Dismember. Tormentor Exarch. And what's it going to be? Phyrexian Unlife. So this one's pretty iconic. You've probably seen it before. And a rules tip, Living Weapon. So if you want to read about that, freeze frame the video. Another one of those awesome mountains. Okay, so Phyrexian Unlife. Probably about $5 to $10, somewhere in there. Next up, we've got an Evil Presence. Gataxian Probe, there it is again. It's like, you will never ban me. Ruthless Invasion. Viridian Betrayers, Vault Scourge, Glissa's Scorn, Pestilent Soul Eater, Furnace Scamp, Gremlin Mine, Blighted Agent, and Arm with Ether for the uncommons, Caress of Phyrexia, Mental Misstep, and a Mythic. Yes, Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, welcome. One of the Praetors, we will sleeve him up for sure. Poison Counter and a Swamp. So that is awesome. That's one of the big hits you hope for. And there is no way we're going to get our money back on this. We would have to pull hits in all the remaining packs, preferably in foil, but I don't like the chances of that happening. Next up, we've got Vault Scourge. Gataxian Probe again, Hovermere, Glistener Elf, Lost Leonin, Thundering Tanadon. Geth's Verdict, Pristine Talisman, Deathhood Cobra, and Caress of Phyrexia for the uncommons. We've got Due Respect, Viral Drake, and Invader Parasite. Okay, that's supposedly an insect. And a rules tip, Phyrexian Mana. So you're either going to pay that with 2 life or the colour. And what else? An island and a foil chained throat seeker. And you might be like, oh, a foil, big deal. They hand them out like candy, but not in these days, people. You were lucky to get a handful of foils per box. Next up, we've got Scrapyard Salvo, Forced Worship, Viridian Betrayers, Vapor Snag, Immolating Soul Eater, Gremlin Mine, Blighted Agent, Lost Leonin, Thundering Tanadon, Geth's Verdict, and Whispering Spectre for the uncommons. Shattered Angel, that's pretty gruesome art, Tezzeret's Gambit, and Glistening Oil. So we've got the horrid Phyrexian oil there consuming another victim, and Poison and Plains. Okay, so 3 more packs. Then we'll take a look at the other stuff. We've got a flyer and some lands, and of course the player's guide. We've got Vault Scourge, Gataxian Probe. It's practically in every pack, isn't it? Hovermere, Glistener Elf, Flameborn Viron, Forced Worship, Furnace Scamp, Trespassing Soul Eater, War Report, Slash Panther, and Whip Flare for the uncommons. Arm with Ether, Master Splicer, and a Mythic. Yes, it's Batterskull, and I don't think it's terribly valuable. We won't sleeve it up. And a Golem and Plains. So are you taking part in the pre-release next weekend for Phyrexia? All will be one. Are you as excited as I am? Looking forward to the set. Looks pretty awesome. Looks a little bit... a lot of overpowered things so far, but we'll see how that pans out. Next, we've got Phyrexian Hulk, Viridian Harvest Sensor Splicer, Flameborn Viron, Toxic Nim, Trespassing Soul Eater, War Report. We've got the Panther, Glissa's Scorn, Parasitic Implant, And Conversion Chamber. That's a little ominous, isn't it? Necro Pouncer, Post-Mortem Lunge, and Chancellor of the Spires. So believe it or not, that looks like a Phyrexian Sphinx. Interesting. Rules Tip Living Weapon. We saw that earlier. And a Swamp. Okay, one more pack here. So I think by this point they've spoiled who was completed. Then we'll see if they reverse it all, right? Are there any Planeswalkers you're really sad about? I think if you don't want to read any spoilers, best not read the comments though. We've got Scrapyard Salvo for the final pack here. Chain Throatseeker, Viridian Harvest, Insatiable Soul Eater, Apostle's Blessing, Mycosynth Wellspring, Geth's Verdict, that one's come up a few times, Thundering Tanadon, Pristine Talisman, Deathhood Cobra, and Noxious Revival for the uncommons, Spine Biter, Mental Misstep, and Chancellor of the Dross. Yes, that's pretty much this box, I think. But we did get 2 mythics, so that's not too shabby. And a Golem and a Forest. And I believe the record still stands on the channel. 5 mythics from a bundle. So that was Ravnica Allegiance. So if you missed that video, link in the corner, check it out. I can't remember if Brothers War had more, but they sort of cheat with the Transformers cards. Okay, so we've got a huge brick of lands. So let's check these out. I think some of these are new art for the set. So let's see if we can zip through. We've seen that one before. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a little bit of duplication. Oh, that one's cool. And an island. There we go. Okay, so that's probably enough of that. And let's check out what we've got here on the flyer. So these, they used to put in the bundles. They don't do this anymore. This is pretty good for new players. If you've never played before, they introduce you to all the good stuff here. So let's flip it around to begin with. So how to play. So you need a deck, of course. They do have pre-constructed ones. And we've got the rarities and a cast of characters here. So Jace, Liliana, Chandra, Ajani, and Garruk are some of the many planeswalkers in the game. Essentially the same thing as players. And then we've got a whole heap of stuff here on the battlefield. You can pause that, check it out. And then on the other side, getting started. So your first game, let's check that out. So what you want to do there, and then combat. So how that works, attacking and blocking, combat example. Okay, and then we have casting spells, turn order, and parts of a magic card. So this is really aimed at brand new players. And we've got some card types here. And the ever popular glossary. So this can be a bit intimidating when you get started. But yeah, you don't need to learn everything at once. It'll gradually come to you. So here we go, the complete glossary. So now let's take a look at possibly my favorite part of these, the player's guide. Unfortunately, they don't do these anymore. So Phyrexia Triumphant. And we have factions emerging here. Golems rebuilt, Mana corrupted. And I believe they did not spoil who won the battle, whether it would be Mirrans or Phyrexians until the set was released. We've got a world reborn. So some more lore here. Furnace Sanctuary, interesting. And then the factions of Phyrexia. Here we go. So we've got the Machine Orthodoxy. These are the white aligned with Elish Norn, who is up in the corner there. Then we have the Progress Engine, blue aligned with Jin Gataxius on the left there. The Still Thanes, black aligned Phyrexia. So check those out. Was that Shieldred, I think, in the corner? We've got Red Align Phyrexia, so you've got Urabrask is the main one there. And of course, Vorinclex of the Vicious Swarm for Green Aligned Phyrexia. Then we've got Karn Planeswalker. So you might have seen him around the place on various products. Let's see what we got here. The 10 coolest new Phyrexia cards. So Karn Liberated for sure. Phyrexian Obliterator. Urabrask the Hidden. Phyrexian Metamorph. Chancellor of the Dross. Okay. And Pure Steel Paladin Mir Superion. Birthing Pod. That would be a good one to pull. Blighted Agent. And Life's Finale. Okay, so the journey continues here. Of course, the combo corner, they did that in the previous one for Mirrodin Besiege. And then we have the awesome card encyclopedia. So you can just flip through these. Everything's online these days, though. My favorite thing to flip through these days in place of these, if you go to mythicsspoiler.com, you can see all of the cards in the set, including everything going back to the beginning. I don't think they've missed anything. Also, if you're searching for particular cards, you want to check out scryfall.com. So that is an excellent tool for deck building. Okay, so we've got a bunch of artifacts here. And of course the lands. And then the complete card checklist. Alright, so that wraps it up. New Phyrexia. What do you think of this set? And are you excited about Phyrexia, or will be one coming up next week? So February 3rd is the start of pre-release events. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.